Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry titan on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mrs. Kanan Sheth. She is a well-established financial expert. Having begun her career journey as a CA, she is currently Executive Director at Director-Vexxa Lifesciences Pvt Ltd. In this position, she has made amazing feats, a noteworthy one being getting the brand registered with countries for exporting products manufactured in India, whereby she also oversees and guides CFO, CEO, logistics head, regulatory head, and production manager. She has also been associated with PIVOT AIF as an investment committee and compliance committee member, investing in startups. She has extensive experience in financial management, specializing in stock market trading, portfolio management, and risk assessment. Her vision and mission in life includes implementing marketing strategies, adhering to and complying with all taxation laws, setting up systems for disaster management, and liaising with auditors for income tax cases. She believes in leadership through democracy and love and is committed to setting up systems and internal controls, complying with SEBI and other authorities and liaising with banks for limits for the company. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mrs. Kanan.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
I appreciate your willingness to share your knowledge and engage in this conversation. So, Mrs. Kanan, could you please let our viewers know about your career journey in brief?
Basically, once I finished my chartered accountancy, I got employed with NM Securities, where under the able leadership of Vallabh Bansali and Nimesh Shah, I was in charge of the IPOs. That time they were so I got a deep in-depth into how people management is done, how IPOs are floated, how valuations are done for the IPO, and finally how they are listed with the stock exchange and SEBI. So that was a very nice period for me, because my mentors, Mr. Bansali and Mr. Shah, they were very nice, and they really helped me to master the IPO, valuations and all that. So that was a very nice experience. So after that, I got my first pay. So then there was a gap of maybe a few months. And then I joined a pharma company again. I mean, first time. Right now also I am with pharma. But that time I was CFO of that pharma company. And I had almost 20 people working under me. So basically my right now I'm director of Vexxa. So my basic knowledge goes to that pharma company, where I learned many things. I learned the accounting, where of course I was a CFO and a chartered accountant, but basically, practical things you do learn from the, practical experience that you are doing. So that was my second endeavor, where I learned everything about the pharma industry. And thereafter, again, my passion was always stock market. So I joined, my father was a stockbroker, so I joined him, where again, due to the passion that I had for the stock market, we were instrumental in opening quite a few branches. And in one of our branches, Mr. Chidambaram had come for the opening. So, it was a very nice experience where the then president, Mr. Damani, he also came for the office opening at Karaikudi. I remember that very well. So, like, this was a milestone which I will never forget. And thereafter, I joined Shripati Holding, where again I was a director in that company. And there also we started arbitrage in the commodities, currency, and the equity market. And again, we opened quite a few branches where I was leading because of my experience at the other place where I had worked before. So, it was a very nice journey till 2008, when the crisis had come. And in that crisis, it taught us a lot many things because two downward circuits were there. And in that circuits, most of the brokers were under the clients because you had no way in which you could sell. So that time we took a call that, this is a very risky proposition. So let us reduce our exposure a little bit. And then with the same management, right now I am with Vexxa Lifesciences. Shripati and Vexxa, same management. So right now I am with Vexxa as director, and you already said what I do at Vexxa, so I'm not repeating. And I'm really enjoying my work at Vexxa. Because, you learn new things, you are with new people, and whole set of new things, which gives you a lot of pleasure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for the excellent start to this interview. And it's an honor to interact with someone who exudes such a strong corporate personality. Continuing our conversation, we would like to know what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced in your professional life so far, and how have you overcome them?
See, basically, as I told you, 2008 was the first crisis that we faced, where we had a very, very big pain. And I was in London because my daughter was undergoing her education there. And my management people called me that aise ho gaya hai. So then I had to catch the first flight and come back. That was even, without my luggage, my purse and my passport, and I came back to India. And that time, because the pain was very huge and there were no buyers available in the market. So basically, some clients ne bol diya, because whatever securities we had, they were like, almost exhausted. So all the risk management that we had planned, the systems that were there, none of the systems could work. So it was a Herculean task where we had to manage the exchange, SEBI, and the clients. But luckily, with a lot of convincing ability and a lot of, management, we survived the crisis. So that was my first crisis which I underwent. And then one crisis came during my current employment, where we are into exports of oncology. Now, oncology products are something which requires, the temperature has to be managed. So we do our lab test, everything. Everything was just perfect when the product left the port of India. But then when it reached the port of destination, there were certain lacunas observed in the product where, maybe the temperature was not controlled when in the flight or during, road transport, and that time it was like, the product had already been marketed. The product had gone in the market, and then we realized, oh, this is something which has to be recalled because the temperature lapses we cannot allow. This is cancer ka onco products are something where human life is involved, right? So then the tough decision of calling back the product, I mean, it's not an easy job कि आपने already कुछ बेच दिया है and then you are, calling it back from the market, and you have to also see that your reputation is not at stake. So all those things was also a very critical thing where we had to, like, 6 months of decision making, then uh, execution of whatever we have thought, our plans, and then ultimately all the products had come back, and then the task of telling the manufacturer to share the losses. So that was also a critical situation, and luckily I don't have so many. So I was lucky कि यार भाई 2 से हो गया. That's it. Otherwise my life has been very smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So building on that, are there any learnings you have taken from your career journey that you would like to share with our viewers today?
Yeah, I feel that, ultimately it is hard work all the way. Along with that, lot of learning. I mean, day in and day out, you have to be a learner. You have to gather knowledge, and you have to be passionate about whatever you do. And like, of course, since I am a chartered accountant, I am into compliances also. So compliance is something which is a part and parcel of every director who is on the seat.
Okay. So I hope all the future leaders. Yes. Please continue, ma'am.
I said success comes to only people who are passionate, well
Rightly said.
organized, have set their goals properly, and see that the execution is done in time. Yeah.
Rightly said, ma'am. Rightly said.
Yeah.
So I hope all the future leaders who are watching this interview have made a note of all the points mentioned by Mrs. Kanan. Moving ahead, we would like to know, have you ever felt a better need for corporate governance in any of the firms you have worked with?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes, from the point of view that all the firms I worked with were either private limited or LLPs. So basically, the limited companies are very well regulated, and they have all the corporate governance which are mandatory. But as far as private limited company and LLPs go, there is a lot of corporate governance which needs to be instilled. And basically in Shripati also, and in Vexxa also. It was when I joined, they were just starting. Like Shripati also, I joined when the business was just starting. So we had to, like, total corporate governance rules, regulations, transparency, compliances, data. Everything had to be done in a way where future becomes simpler. Similarly at Vexxa.
Okay. So before we conclude our discussion on corporate governance, I would like to ask you, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
See, basically, my ESG exposure began when I went to meet my daughter and son-in-law in London. And my son-in-law told me that ESG is the thing for the future. Like, he is in London and he is director at one of the big 4 companies in London as a ESG director. And so, like, when he explained everything to me, I also felt the need, yeah, this is the future. So basically, I joined your institute, World Development, like Directors Institute, and I have empaneled for this ESG course also. I said, going deep into the course would make a lot of sense. And then means, just I went deeper and deeper into it, I felt really, I mean, the core objective of a leader would be how to balance between profits and people, how to balance between profits and your ESG, because both are at a different footing, right? So, I mean, this is something which I'm trying to get into our Vexxa culture also, where we are giving priority to the people, to the environment, to the social governances, and all that. Along with that, we also have to see that stakeholders ka profit kam nahi ho jaye, right? So it's a balance that we are striking. Yeah, yeah. So that is the thing.
Okay. So my next is on technology, since it has become an integral part of our lives. So we would like to know, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? And what changes do you expect to see with the advent of technology like IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0?
See, basically, if I just go to the old days where, stock market, people used to go to the ring, and I was one of them. I used to go to the ring to do transactions. So that was the day when, we used to take a soda book in our hand, go to the ring, do transactions, write down, come back, and then, write it in another big book, send it to the exchange. And from those days to current, where at a press of a button, your transaction gets done. Like you make your payment and shares are in your demat account, right? So this is the difference that technology has brought from those days to today. And now coming with Web3, AI and all that, I mean, it's a fantastic thing that is happening to us where a lot of our problems are getting sorted. Like अगर आप देखो कि भाई Siri है and all this, like, you ask and they reply, right? I mean, I was just going through the chat GPT also. Okay, well, it can answer all your queries. I mean, it's a one-to-one conversation you can have with them. They can work intelligently. So looking at all that, future is going to be very bright. But at the same time, you never know. I mean, corporate governance has to be very strong because I think the change in technology, things are going to be where, human interface is going to be a bit less, right? So I think technology has definitely made a inroad into all our offices and our lives and everything. And very happy for that. Very, very happy. But I think one thing that will not change is human creativity. So AI nahi kar payega, right? So that is something where our input and our people like me would be very good at. Right? So that is something which is good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is little off the record kind of thing. Since you are equity market titan, and now markets are at all-time high. So would you like to give some tip to our investor viewers?
See, basically, India is booming. Modi all the way. And 24 elections also, Modi is expected to do well. He's talking about 5 trillion economy. And if that 5 trillion economy happens, and stock market will boom further. And stock market में एक ऐसा है ना कि it has crossed its all-time high, right? So once it crosses the all-time high, people feel that अभी तो और ऊपर जाएगा. But then maybe that is the time to be cautious.
Right.
Right. Only I think you can be invested in the best items which are basically, fundamentally very strong and technically also very strong. I do look at the technicals also. So I know when to get in, when to get out. So it's a passion. Like, as I told you, my passion has always been stock market. So on a personal level, I study a lot on stock markets also. Yeah. So I think it's a time to be cautious. At the same time, if you have equity with you, something where you should be in it. Yeah.
Great. So to all our viewers, be cautious. That's the tip for now. Okay.
Yes. And that is why I'm not naming any item now.
Yes, not any particular script. So all the viewers, do your diligence, do the fundamental and technical analysis yourself. This is just out of the record kind of a tip that you have got. So be cautious wherever you are invested.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the team of WTC?
I think it is a fantastic thing that they have done. I mean, it is something, this was something which was required, where talent can meet opportunities. It was always that corporates wanted good people, they were not getting one. And individuals wanted good companies and they were not getting, right? And with the detailed course that they have done for this, I mean, it is, see, I did my CA way back, maybe 25 years back. Okay. So this was all, of course, I have been a director throughout. So all that, I mean, everything was there, but then also, a little bit of learning every time always makes a difference. So I really feel it's a great initiative. Thank you all so much that you took this initiative where, now corporates have a data bank where they know, okay, where the right talent is and talent has the opportunity. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. And thanks to your team. A beautiful course. I really love doing it. And I cleared my independent director and now ESG is on the way. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. That was so insightful of you, Mrs. Kanan. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Mrs. Kanan Sheth, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Yes.
Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same to you.